Hello, it's me. We need a production crew.
We do, don't we? Maybe we will one day. We'll put that out there. Anyways, hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a little podcast style, interview style type of video with no other than Miss Kimberly Fitch.
Yes. Hello. Hello to all my fans.
So, if you don't know this is my mother, and yeah, she's iconic. We love her. Everybody is obsessed with her. So, Mom, if people don't know who you are, if they live under a rock, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am a mother of two, but we're saying three because I have Molly Mae. She's our golden retriever, and I love her. She's a dream come true. But I have been an educator for over 23 years and getting ready for retirement. And then I'm going through empty nest. And I really don't like empty nest, but that's a whole nother podcast. And I love, if you think of Dolly Parton, think of me, because like I'm the poor version of Dolly Parton.
Oh my gosh.
I love like bright colors, and I love bright jewelry, and I love music, glitz, glam. I refer to myself as the hillbilly Barbie. I love everything to do with literacy, reading, writing. I love to write. I've written a couple of children's books that they've not been published, but they're tucked away in the office.
In the archive.
In the archives. And I write short stories about a little girl and her granddaddy, and I love Appalachia, and I was raised in the hills and the hollers here, and I love being outdoors. I love camping. I love nature. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Period. Also, I just want to say that we started this video like probably 20 minutes ago, and we didn't check the mic, and it wasn't working. So now we're using the little like clip-on mic, and we're just using this as a prop because we just think it's cool.
Think it's cool.
But eventually, if you guys like these types of videos and this style of video, we will upgrade to like actual like a podcast style mics. But yes, we're just using this as props, so don't be fooled. So anyways, well, I guess you can hold the mic. It doesn't matter.
What if I drop the mic? Drop the mic.
Yes, my phone is not pulling up. I don't know, our internet or something is down. I don't really know what's going on with my Instagram. But I did ask you guys over on Instagram some questions to ask Mom. But for right now, until it's like, I don't know what's going on with it, I'm going to ask her some questions from We're Not Really Strangers. It is a card game, and yes, I highly recommend. I know I have it on my Christmas list. But anyways, it's just these set of cards. Yeah, note to self. It's just these sets of cards that, you know, you can ask really deep questions. And basically the idea is that you can have all of these people in the room and somebody that may just be totally opposite of you, and you're like, we have nothing in common. You would probably find like a common ground with this game. Yeah. So anyways,
don't ask too deep of questions.
Oh yes, we're gonna get deep, juicy. I'm gonna ask all the juicy questions.
Juicy.
So, what insecurity of yours holds you back the most?
Confidence. I lack confidence in anything that I do. Just how I look, how I present myself. I don't know. I've never had really a good self-esteem. And I always wanted to encourage and inspire you kids, my children, to have a good self-esteem. So that's why I tried to, you know, put you in activities and do things with you and brag on you. And because I really always, and I still do, feel the least among people. And that's okay to feel that way. I'm embracing it now that I'm in my, you know, I'm past 29, in case you didn't know. So I'm kind of embracing that and just trying to believe that I am enough, and, you know, just thinking about who I am as a person. And, you know, we all have insecurities, I guess. So but I do have those. If I walk in a room, I'm thinking, are they looking at me? What do I look like? You know, those kinds of things. you know, I think everybody does that though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I feel like the Gen Z or just like the younger generation is really good at being like, I don't know, I feel like they've kind of
Don't care what people think, kind of.
not really that,
Maybe.
but just like learning that no one really cares. Like you're only worried about yourself. Because like if everybody's worrying about that, you know, like I don't know, nobody really cares. Like a lot of people are, you know, like narcissistic or not necessarily narcissistic, but it's just you care about yourself the most, I guess.
So it's kind of like when I go to the gym and I'm working out and I'm thinking everybody's looking at me. They're really not looking at me.
They're really not.
They're looking at looking at themselves, I guess. Because when I'm in the gym, I'm just like, oh, they're looking at me.
Mm-hmm. I feel the same way, but it's like, yeah, they're either thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, or they're just like focused. They're in the zone, like you know.
Because y'all know I go to the gym all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also struggle with confidence. I feel like it's just a generational thing, but I really want to break that mold for my kids as well.
It's a struggle. The struggle's real.
Okay, the next question is, how can I be there for you?
I guess I should give you the fake microphone.
Oh, okay. Thank you. How can I be there for you during this chapter in your life?
This chapter. This is like, is this the climax of my life? Having lots of grandbabies, because, you know, I'm at the stage now. I was a mom, a very young mom. I was a mom at 21. So all of my 20s and 30s have been devoted to my children. And now I'm empty nesting and I don't like it. But, like, if you had me some babies, I could, like, show you how to be a mom and have a purpose again.
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, we definitely want to have kids, but I feel like you do need a good few years of being empty nest and go travel and do all this stuff that you and Dad have been talking about because,
Well, you know, we never got to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. They got married so young, and I would love to do like a whole other video or episode about
We really
that
did.
because it's so crazy.
We raised each other. I have raised a great man.
Really, though. 10 out of 10 for Brian Pitch.
He is a good one.
Yeah, but I would love to talk about, like, you know, I got married kind of older, and thank you. I got married kind of older, especially for, like, where we're from, and, you know, you got married really young. Or just, I guess it was normal back then to get married young, but I would just love to sit down and talk about that too because I think that that's just so
Oh gosh, yes. We have lots of years of wedded bliss we could talk about.
Okay. Here's like a fun, like, lighthearted question.
Okay, good. I like fun, lighthearted. I like deep.
What do we need to watch, or just me, whatever. What do we need to watch as soon as we have the time to? Like, what's your, like, favorite show right now, or, like, TV's, like, series, or...
Okay, so first and foremost, I don't watch a lot of TV. I love, like, getting on the Instagram and all that good stuff. So I don't really watch a lot of TV, but husband and I have started watching The Crown. And I really like it. He likes it too. It's just all about the royal family and Queen Elizabeth and how she's transpired all through her years of her reign as queen. So it's really cool. We like that. And then a couple years ago, we started watching a crowd-funded, faith-based show called The Chosen, and we really like that. And it's a show about Jesus and his disciples and how they actually, like, lived, and it makes it seem so real, and it's not like the old time, you know, shows that you watch about Jesus, and, you know, and they're using, like, thou and them and they, and, you know, I mean, like, or it just makes him human.
That's what I was going to say. It gives him very, like, human.
So I really like that. And I guess that's it, really. I'm not really a big TV watcher. But my husband is. He watches all the YouTube stuff, too, and it drives me insane.
Yes, he's a very big TV junkie. Oh,
there's you the fake microphone back.
Okay, what about me is hardest for you to understand?
I don't think you want to know.
What?
How you can be so far away from me.
Oh my gosh, yes. That needs to be a whole other episode too, because
I told you I'm struggling with empty nest. So, I think that's the hardest thing for me, really, is how, I mean, you're independent, and I wanted you to be independent, and I promise you were independent from birth. Like, you came out of the womb and you didn't really need me. I just wanted to feel like I was needed. You probably could have raised yourself, but I think just, how could you be so far away from me like that? That's hard for me because I couldn't be that far away from my own mom. I just couldn't. I don't know. But I guess I did a good job raising you, so kudos.
I mean,
to
it
me.
obviously sucks, and I don't like to think. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
It's obviously hard for me, and it does suck. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, we have such a good bond and a good connection. That could also be another episode to talk about.
You and me?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so. And that it used to not be the case whatsoever.
Well, no mother and daughter in their teen years.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough, but now,
I mean, it's
you know,
just part of it.
we went over the mountain or whatever, the climb, and
Like Miley Cyrus.
like Miley Cyrus, yeah.
It's the climb.
Period. And I just feel like, yeah, we've just got that bond to where we can do that. And I mean, I don't know.
I think, it's just the fact that you are independent and you can do what, like you left before you were even married. You know what I mean? Like, and went on your own and traveled. You've traveled everywhere by yourself. And it scared me that you were doing all that. But, I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Thank you.
3 cheers for Lakin. Hip hip hooray.
What are you currently working through that others can't see?
Oh, gosh. How long is this podcast? Seriously. I'm working through trying to figure out who I am now as a woman, and a woman who is in her, I guess, middle age. So just trying to figure out who I am, what purpose do I serve, and I struggle with that. And we all have struggles, and I think that is my biggest struggle. Like, just who am I? What do I do now? Now that you're gone, your brother's getting ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I do now? And what do I do with husband? Like, I'm stuck with him now. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. And
So that's a big struggle. Mm-hmm. It's a very big struggle.
And I feel like we talked about that when we were recording earlier. Not that same question, but kind of the same thing. And I was telling her, like, now it's probably going to be like the peak of your life. Like, you're financially stable compared to when you guys first got married. And like, you have, you just have so much to do, because they've never really went on a trip besides like last year or the year before. Just them alone.
When you were younger. We went on very short trips. Like, I tried out for Nashville Star. We went to Nashville for like a weekend.
You should talk about that.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. We waited in line in the middle of February, I think it was, and I sang at the Wild Horse Saloon on stage. Look at me. So it was fun. It was cool.
And it's, this is off topic, but it's crazy how much Nashville has grown.
Changed since then. Yeah, it has.
Okay, this is a good one. Who in your life deserves the biggest thank you?
Wow.
I know, I'm asking a lot of deep
You are. Who in my life?
questions.
So my sister probably deserves a humongous thank you, because she was 12, almost 13 years older than me. And my mom and dad had me later in life. Like, I guess my mom was in her 30s, which is really not late in life now, but it was then. Mm-hmm. And so, like, all of my friends had younger moms and dads, and then there was, my mom and dad, and then my sister really stepped up and did some things. Like, she took me places and did things with me, and and she was always like, I was like the third wheel until they had children, so I was like always with them when they were going places. So she probably deserves a huge thank you to just, and my brother-in-law. I really feel like my brother-in-law impacted my personality a lot too. He's really funny.
Did you, I can't remember, did you say the age gap there?
Yeah, they're like 12 and 13 years. Well, he's probably like 15 years older than me. So they just, I don't know, like some of my music influences were because of them, you know, because I went on vacation with them while my mom and dad just kind of stayed home.
That could also be another episode talking
Yes.
about, because my grandparents, her parents, are very, they don't like to go anywhere, they don't like to do anything, and she's very like,
I
do
wanna
this,
go.
do that, yeah. And
As a matter of fact, your dad says, why do you want to go to places all the time? And I told him it was because I never really got to go anywhere when I was a kid, I guess. I mean, we lived in the head of a holler, okay? So like
explain what a holler is.
Okay, so the hollow, what people call hollow, we call it holler here in eastern Kentucky, is where the hills come together and there's a valley that leads, a road will take you all the way up through the mountains. I was the last person just about to get off the bus, the first kid to get on the bus, unless the little family that lived above us got on and off the bus. And so we never really left the holler to go anywhere ever, other than Mom and Dad took me to Pigeon Forge when I was little, to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So that was a huge, huge deal for me. The only place that we ever went, my mom and dad took me to Camden Park, which was like a little amusement park here.
All the local people know.
In Canova, or I guess it's Canova, West Virginia. But we never really went anywhere unless I went with my sister and my brother-in-law. And I love to just go. I love it. So I don't know. My childhood has great memories, but it's not a lot of travel involved with my memories. So
that's very true. I don't, like my mama, she's never seen the ocean. She's been, to Kentucky, maybe 3 states, and that's because we live in like a tri-state area.
She's in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. So she's been to 4, and Tennessee. So that's it.
That's a lot
for my
for
mom.
her.
That's a lot for my mom. Yeah.
Anyways, the next question is, what would your younger self not believe about your life today? And that could be, something cool, like something fun.
My younger self would not have believed that I would have ever have been a principal.
That's good.
My younger self would have never have thought that I would have 2 degrees. 2+ degrees. So my younger self would be like, what? You go, girl.
Really though, like coming from like where you said, I mean, it is tough. Like 45 minutes to almost an hour just to get into town, and town is like a very small town.
We had a little grocery store called Jude's Grocery Store that was the closest, and it was by my elementary school, and it would take us, I think, about 25 minutes maybe to get there. And then we didn't have Walmart or anything like that. We had what they called a Maloney's that was in Inez.
Well, yeah,
so that took a long time.
Well, even when you moved out of there and had me, I'm from Louisa, we didn't even have a Walmart until my 8th grade year, I think. So, we're like from a very small town, but then she lived 45 minutes.
Even further.
Yeah, it's hard to even think of, because I even struggle with it too. It's like, wow, like this can really happen to me. Like that's so crazy. So I can't even imagine, for you.
Because I grew up to the point where we had what we called a party line. There really wasn't. We didn't even have like our phone. You would pick up the phone and you would listen to see if anybody else was on there, so you could call who you wanted to call. So look how far we have, come in technology, let alone like just, where I came from. So my younger self would be like, pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to do a few more of the We're Not Really Strangers questions, and then I'll try and see if I can load some of the questions from Instagram.
I can't believe you guys really want to know about me. What's it say about you all?
She's a very interesting person. I will admit that. All right. Think of someone you admire, and what made you think about them specifically?
Okay, so anytime I'm ever asked this question, because when you're in education, you have like all what they call icebreakers, or we have these meetings, and they'll ask kind of these questions, and I always think of Dolly Parton. I love her, and if I could be anybody, it probably would be her because I just love her, and I really admire the way that she doesn't forget where she's from. You know, she's not afraid to admit that she came from humble beginnings, and she gives back and still loves people, and she loves children, and she loves literacy, and I love the fact that everybody loves her. I don't know anybody that doesn't love Dolly Parton, and so I just love her.
I feel like she's just kind of herself too, and like she doesn't care.
I feel like I could open the door and be like, "Come on in, Dolly, let's have some coffee." And
she'd be like, "Oh,
girl, I mean, like, and then we would talk about all of the fun stuff of what it's like growing up in the Appalachia, mountains, and what it's like to be a mountain girl.
What it's like to be her, like that. I would love to.
Yeah, like I want to go in her closet, like.
Oh my gosh, her.
Can you imagine? I couldn't wear a thing that girl wear. I couldn't wear any of them, but her wigs and just I don't know. I think she's just so fun, and she's so intelligent. Like, how can she's built an empire.
Really though.
And she came from a holler, basically. I mean, she came from Tennessee, the mountains of Tennessee. So I love it. I just love all that about her.
She's a hard worker,
the Smoky
too.
Mountains.
Think about it now. Like, she's what, in her 70s?
She's my dad. No, she's my dad's age.
She is 80 now?
Yeah, I think she's close to getting there. I think she's my dad's age.
And that's quite like she's always doing like press or like movies.
I mean, and she said she's going to
stopped.
work. She's going to work till she dies. I love her.
She is iconic. I will give you that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question about me and you.
Okay.
What do you think our most important similarities are?
Oh, goodness. We're really kind of opposite. We're really opposite.
It's a hard question.
That's a very hard question. So our important similarities are,
I think our work ethic. I think
yeah.
I get that from you.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would say that, but
I think we're both very like warm-hearted kind. Like if anybody needs anything, like, oh, just like come in the house. Like I feel like we're very, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking that, but I'm definitely a number 2 on the Enneagram, and I love like, taking care of people, like,
yeah.
I don't know. And you give that spirit too.
Yeah. You answered that question for me.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
I mean, seriously, because we're really a lot alike in ways, but we've got a lot of differences too. So I was gonna say our facial features. I think we look alike.
That's the most important similarity.
I don't know if it's the most important, but it's the only one I could think of because we're so different.
We
in
are
certain things.
Landon is you.
Landon
I'm
is
my dad.
me. Poor little Landon. He's me.
And
it's okay though.
100% Brian Fitch.
You really are Brian Fitch.
To a certain extent. I feel like I do have a lot of...
You're more colorful than your dad.
I feel
Brian's very subdued, and that's so good because he completes me. Like, I need that. I need that.
He is the yin to your yang for sure.
Yes.
And he is very...
Oh, you probably need this fake microphone again.
Yes. He's very, very quiet, and I used to be extremely quiet. And I'm still very, very shy, but I feel like I've gotten out of my comfort zone, or just being more open and a little bit more outgoing, I think.
I brought the pizzazz to your dad.
That is fine.
Seriously, he needed me to bring him out of his shell. He did.
Okay, I think we should answer this. I've been interviewing you, I guess, the whole time. Okay. But I think we should both answer this question.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm going to ask it to you, and then you can ask it to me.
Okay.
What do you think is one thing I could... Oh, wait. What is one thing...
Well, okay.
This is our first time. Give me some slack. Okay. What do you think is one thing I could do that would drastically improve my life?
Move back home and be with
I knew
your
you.
mom.
Besides that.
I would so drastically improve your life. I would cook and y'all could come over and we could go shopping and I'd decorate your house. And
This is every time I talk to her on the phone.
I
by the
can't
way.
help it. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling with this. Okay, one thing that would drastically improve your life that you need to do,
That I could do.
that you could do. I think, well, of course, always putting God first. That is the most important thing. I can't always say that I've ever done that. You know, I mean, we've tried, but you know, we fail. We're human. But I would think putting God first. But I feel like you and Jake are doing that. So is it supposed to be something that you're not already doing?
Yes, it's just like, what is one thing that I could do that would drastically improve my life? It doesn't have to be like anything crazy, but just like, oh, like if you would do this, this would like totally change your life. Or not totally change it, but just like really improve my life.
Drinking more water, maybe? I don't know. I don't have my act together. Like, and so I don't feel like I can give anybody advice about that.
Yeah, I feel like.
I think, I really don't know.
Do you want me to answer and you can think on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, you can ask me the question.
Let me get my glasses. I'm old. What do you think is one thing I could do that would drastically improve my life? Oh, yeah, that's a good question for you.
Yeah, that is a good question. I know. Thank you. I picked it out for you. I think, one, not caring what people think. Just go for it.
Yeah.
I know you want to pursue like social media and all those things. I just think you should go ahead and do it and not care. But I also think my first thought whenever I was thinking about this question is traveling more. I think just booking a trip like once a year to start out, because you'll never travel, even if it's just, you know,
Yeah.
I think traveling more and seeing more than just the Appalachian Mountains. Like, I feel like going like out west or going just different places in the United States, I think you would be amazed, and I think you would absolutely love. I think you would get addicted to it. I really do. And it definitely improves your life because you see like how other people live and just like different people's perspectives, and I just think it would drastically change your life because you get to see, I don't know, you get to see the world and different terrains, and it's just so, it's definitely changed my life. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do is travel.
Do you know what's sad? What's sad is I really don't have like that. When you asked me that question, I really didn't have anything that, other than, you know, put God first, I don't really have anything that would be like life changing, you know, because I'm sure there are people out there who were like, you could journal, or you could run, exercise. All I could think of was drink water. I told you I'm boring.
That's not boring. It's just, that's just a really thought-provoking question.
Oh, I got something. Never stop learning. That's amazing for me. Like, I never want to quit learning. I like to learn. I don't care what it's about. Like, I'm currently right now learning a lot about the brain and how the brain operates in certain parts of the brain, and how to increase your neural plasticity. And I know I'm getting really nerdy. I'm a nerd in certain aspects.
Okay, so I ran out of storage and we're just picking up where we left off. So, Mom, my next question is, what parts of yourself do you see in me?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I got it. So, growing up, I always loved clothes. And I loved fashion. At one point in time, I was going to go into fashion merchandising and design and be a fashion buyer. Of course, but my parents were, I was 17 when I was in college, and my parents were like, no, you're not going that far away. So, but I see a drive in you. Like, if I set my mind to something, I really will work hard and I will get it done. And so I see that in you, and I see your excitement for like doing all the things that I thought that I wanted to do. And I still think, you know, after I finish my career, who knows, I may do something like that. So just seeing you get to do those kinds of things, I see that, I think that came from me. Like your ability to just go do it. You know?
Drive.
Yeah, the drive. Just go do it. Just do it.
Okay. You want to do one more or just wrap it up?
One more is good. I'm always in for one more. Your dad says
So
I
one
can
more
never
and
get
then
enough.
wrap it up?
Sure.
Okay, let me see. Ooh, okay, yeah. So, what has this conversation taught you about yourself?
This conversation has taught me that I need to live more.
Period.
And what I mean by that is I need to be authentic with myself. Like I think back to when I had this conversation about when I was a little girl and all the things that I wanted to do as a little girl. And I do think my young self would be proud of me, but I am so creative and I was such a creative kid. I think a lot of that came from, we didn't have a lot of like technology toys or anything like that. So I made my fun up as I went and I was very creative. So I think I need to tap back into my creativity. I think I need to just get back to living. Like I've struggled so much with empty nest and what do I do with myself now? So I think just maybe this conversation has kind of had me reflect on who I am as a person, who I want to be as a person, and what I need to do to achieve the things that, you know, I want to do and be. So yeah, it's really been kind of fun. It's been eye-opening, I guess, to say the least.
Yes, I'm glad you say that because I would love to do another sit down with you. I think these are so fun to do.
Oh my gosh.
And who else could I do it with besides you? Like, I don't know. She's iconic. She's my mom, and you're just...
You really put me too far up there. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, I just feel like our conversation, like, we can talk for hours and hours and hours. And the only other person I can do that with is probably Brian.
Brian!
That's who, if we
Shout out to, like, if honestly and truly, he could be my kid. Don't you think? I think he was switched at birth. I think he needs to be my kid. Because he is, I just love Bryant. And he has the name Brian. He could fit right in with us. Because I named my children, in case you don't know, Brianna Lakin. Because, you know, she was the first and we didn't know if we were going to have any more. And I didn't want my husband to feel like he didn't have a namesake or whatever. And then Landon came along. I was like, well, I have to name the son after the dad. So he's Brian Landon. And then, of course, Bryant. Bryant could definitely be my kid. I love him. How are we wrapping this up?
If we ever do a podcast,
He's coming on.
He will be our first guest.
He's hilarious.
I asked him and he was like, I don't know, but I think we can bully him into doing it.
But I had him in school, so I was his teacher. So if we have him on here, no, I'm not going to tell the story.
Okay.
But if we have him on here, I'll have to tell all the stories about Bryant. And I'm going to tell you something. I can tell you all kinds of stories about school. I have tons of stories. And some of them are hilarious. And you can't make stuff up. It just, of course, we would have to leave off names.
Okay, I'm trying to find one more question, but I feel like that was a good way to end it.
Okay.
So, Mom, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, gosh. Well, welcome into my home.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming. I didn't go anywhere. I just walked out of the bedroom.
Thank you for hosting me here and coming on this little interview, podcast style type of video.
Anytime. You're welcome.
Yes, I know I enjoyed it, and I think you did. I hope so.
I did enjoy it. I did. It got a little deeper than what I thought it was going to.
Yes,
though.
I love. That's one thing about me is I love
I don't like it. It puts me in my feels. I don't like being in my. That's something I don't like. I don't mind other people's feels, but I don't like being in mine.
But that's how you grow, and I think I'm
like
obsessed with growing and being uncomfortable, and I don't know. That's why I really want this game for Christmas. So
okay,
just note that.
I'm already Christmas shopping. So
I know we have a Google Doc of all of our Christmas lists. Dad, I think he's the only one, and Jake, of course, are the only.
What do
two.
you buy the man that has everything?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let us know if you guys want to see a part 2, 3, 4, 5, because I know we would absolutely love to do it.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
So anyways, thank you again so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, and
Hey, I've always wanted to do this. Don't you do the hit the like button below and ring the little bell? Is that what you
there
do?
you go. Yeah.
Ring the little bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Okay.
Hey, that takes me back to my early days, the early 90s.
Anyways, guys, you can ring the bell to get notified every time I upload, which is normally only once a week. It's on Tuesdays. I've been thinking about posting more, so we shall see. But yes, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Goodbye.
Bye. That was good.
That was good. That's a wrap. Wrap it up like a mummy.